there, guys and gals. We have yet another eventful, yep, AC's on. Another eventful thing that happened with our 5.3 build, and a little bit of modification happened. So this is, wait a minute, it's upside down. Oh yeah. So I had to have, you know, the owner of the mobile junkyard come over and flip this thing over for me, because, you know, old dad still ain't got two arms that are working just great. So we had to modify this unidentified pan. We don't know who made it, but we wanted to keep our baffle, our original 5.3 baffle. Okay, now we also had to steal this piece out of the original, and there's a pressure thing there. Not really sure how that comes out or goes in, or actually even what it does. I have no idea. It's there. I don't know. I'll find out and get back to you. But anyway, so this is what we got here, and a water bottle, because I can't make in the trash can with the AC on. So let me show you what we had to do here. We had to modify quite a bit. By quite a bit, you'll see here in a second. So, and I'll tell you how I modified it, how I found out where I needed to cut. Because if you didn't just see it by now, by me one arm taking the pan off. Anyway, here we go. So I had to cut where it says front. Yep, we had to go ahead and hit the delete button on all that, because this was rubbing, and it was rubbing inside of that pan. So once I would set everything down on here, it would rub. So me doing what I do, I modify this, and I'm trying to keep this baffle on here. The reason why is, whenever you take this thing to Sendville and you fully send it, that oil is coming up. It's not going to be in your pan where you want it. You want oil in your pan. That's why these engines last so long, because they don't starve for oil. They got baffles. You're going to want them baffles, I promise you. This pan was a baffle delete, which means either it came with it and the guy kept it, forgot to throw it back in a box. Either way, you know. So we had to modify it there, and where it says front, I cut just below it. I mean, look, there's another bolt that's supposed to go there. So it was hitting here slightly, it was hitting here hardcore, and I'll explain this grease here in a second. That's the more gooder one. So I even had to modify it, because this is originally where this would have mounted if it was the front sump. So it fit there perfectly factory. However, I slightly modified it, because it was bending and touching and doing all kind of good stuff. FYI, make sure you're cleaning your parts really well before you go ahead and stick them in this motor that has already been exposed to metal shavings, by the way. We don't want any more exposure to that. So anyway, we just seeing how much stuff I missed. It's a lot. It's not a bad thing. No, I'm just kidding. This dust in this fan, I hope. Yep. Okay, so anyway, so we get all that sorted out where I could put this on first without hitting the pan, because that was my first issue. Then I put this in here. Now it hits the pan again. It looks like it was hitting somewhere over in here, so I cut further back, put it back on, and it's still hitting. Now with this lid down, I only had, like, can you see that much? Like, it was up that much on this side, so I was pretty certain it was hitting the tube. So I put grease on it. See all that grease? And right there is where it was hitting. I hope you notice. The good thing is I only cut the whole structure of the pan, but I cut it, you know, like with precision and stuff. First I cut this one right here, and then it started rubbing that one. So there's that. Also, let's see, there was that, and I also, before cutting these, I taped all of this up, all of it, because you have a metal magnet that attracts, you know, like steel for your drain plug. Remember, it had the two little pins on it. Aluminum does not stick to a magnet. So if you don't clean that crap out, you're going to have that in your engine. I don't want that in my engine either. Even though it's the softer metal, you know, we'd just rather not have that. So anyway, this video is about the slight mods that we had to do, right? So we cleaned everything up. We got everything buttoned up in here. I went with ICT. Yep. It's upside down, so I did that for you. You're welcome. Went with ICT type motor mount thingies. They were kind of cheap. I think it was like 25 bucks or something. And we want some siliconage. That's not it. That's not it. There it is. That looks like it's dried up, so that's good. So I may just be showing you guys anywhere this block seals comes together, even though these gaskets are 100% reusable, and they are reusable. Anywhere you see where the block comes together, put you a dab of the old gasket maker right on them. I know it says you don't have to. I'm going to. That way, so this thing is sealed. Also, once you get your motor built or close to throwing it in, I actually still have to thread in my plugs. But you notice how I taped all this off. I even got my cap on the oil. You're going to want to keep it from getting any dust inside the engine. You know, that's not good. You can wrap it also, which a large trash bag works wonderful if you didn't know that. So I've got everything sealed up here, and I'm going to put my spark plugs in, and all that's for is to keep stuff out. Bees making a mud dauber nest for somewhat late in the year, whatever. And then I'm probably also going to throw a trash bag on it just for more good or safe keeping. So this is just a real quick, an FYI and a how-to, because I did not expect to have to modify my pan to make it work. As far as I know, these were mated items. I don't know though. This could have been just a sheer LS1 pan. I don't know. I took the guy for his word. He said it was a rear sump pan. That's what I need. So obviously that's what we got. Also, they tell you to identify your original seal that come on your oil pump. Well, we replaced the oil pump for many reasons. One of the main reasons being it had metal shavings ran through it. I read somewhere where that's real bad. So even though the trash looked like it was down all in the pan, we're not going to roll that dice and reuse that oil pump. No, they're cheap. Throw one in it. I even got a melling pump. I think it was like 55 bucks, 60 bucks. It's kind of worth it. Just saying, you do you, I'm gonna do me. But my main advice is use your baffle. If you got a hit, put some grease where you think it's hitting. I had this thing greased as well. You know, this may not look pretty, but guess what? You know who's gonna see it? You guys on YouTube, me, and no one whenever it's sitting in this sucker, sitting all choppy at a light, just rocking the car back and forth, right? So who cares? I'm doing this for the longevity of this motor, for the longevity of the car. You know, I'm doing it to help the engine. And not only that, this baffle, where this is so close up front, it's going to help keep that oil down anyway. So I think it's going to be absolutely fine, especially since I'm using 3/4 of the baffle. I think it'll be absolutely fine. I would love to show you guys what this thing looks like with the, well, come here and look at this. I'm just saying, that's the Holley sniper system I got for it. It was used, but still I got a really good deal on it. So we're gonna put that baby on there. That's the old sniper. We're keeping it fuel injected, aren't we, Mullet Machine? That's right. So we're gonna keep it fuel injected. We already have a electric fuel pump in the tank. Why not just upgrade it just a little bit? So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna make this thing absolutely just run like it should have from the factory, honestly. So that's my 2 cents in this video. Hopefully it helps you guys. If you've run across these pans, don't give up on them. I'll show you what I used on mine to cut it. Now remember, get you some tape. This is the tape I used. Just straight body masking tape. And then I used, or painter's tape, whatever, this little fella right here. As you can see, I already lost the screw, but that guy you get at the Harbinese Freight, and it's cheap. It's not even that expensive, and it has been an absolute wonderful tool to have. It minimized the well, I mean, look, I didn't even hardly gouge. I barely scraped right there, and that's it. That thing, that's a clean cut, both of those. And it was actually really easy to cut because it's aluminum, and I did one at a time. I feel real confident about it that, you know, there's no problems. I already set the pan on with the gasket. Everything does what it's supposed to do. So I'm gonna dab my few pieces of stuff there, and there, and we're gonna set the pan on it, have the owner from the mobile junkyard come back over, flip it back over for me, wipe off this grease because I don't think we need it anymore. And that's just a real short tutorial on this. You never know what you're expecting when you buy stuff off the marketplace. That's a little, you know, if you didn't know, now you know. And if you don't know, you will know, unfortunately. Some's good, some's bad, indifferent. But anyway, guys, I hope this helps you. This sucker looks really neat with all the new stuff on it, all painted up. I'm just saying, I'm a big fan. Anyway, guys, that wraps this one up. Thanks for watching, and we're getting a whole lot better. I'm pretty happy with this. We'll see you guys next time here on Right Turn Garage TV. Y'all have a great weekend.